Hi, welcome to Weekly News Watch for April 17th, 2023. I'm here with Matt Hubbard, reporter for the Cecil Whig. Weekly News Watch is a collaboration between Cecil Public Media and the Cecil Whig. How you doing, Matt?
Pretty good, Doug. Thanks for having me.
Um, on the county level, we had a budget hearing last week on Tuesday. It was not as exciting as the week before, but there was a lot of detail from Public Works. Well, first, before we get to Public Works, the college made its presentation, which was really a contrast from the public schools. It was short, sweet, uncontested, there was some discussion, but not much.
Yeah.
So and then also Douglas Walker, I believe his name is, from the election board. I missed part of that, but I'm sure some of it had to do with the scheduling, which got all screwed up last year.
Yeah. It was a lot of they need more money because there's legislation that came through that election judges need to be paid more money. And it's like a $150 pay increase. And if you are a returning judge, I think it's like a $200 pay increase, but there's a lot of gray area with this legislation. So they just need more money because they need to pay judges more money because it's mandated by the state through legislation now.
Right. Okay, so Public Works, lots of projects, and and I guess there's not that much to say. I feel the Belvedere Road stuff, the exit. I guess progress is progress, but if you live on Belvedere Road, you might disagree. Any thoughts?
Yeah, the Belvedere Road interchange has been like, I don't know, whenever there's any discussion about Department of Public Works or, roads and bridges in Cecil County, it's always like the number one thing. It's like it's the most expensive project in the county, and the county's been giving incremental funds, here and there. I think $300,000 is what they're giving for this budget, but they've been paying, money to match the MDTA and stuff. And there's it's a lot of money and a lot of logistics that go into this. Everything from Stewart Property donating parts of land and allowing them to build on it to, county grants and match funds and stuff like that, to future plans that they have to expand that part of Belvedere Road from 2 lanes to 4 lanes all the way to Route 40. Now that's a $20 million project. It's the same stuff reiterated over and over and over again in different ways. So it's a bit confusing, but it's really interesting and it's great for Cecil County's economy.
Yeah, I mean, it, on balance, to route truck traffic. I mean, they're going to be warehouses. There are warehouses. There may be more warehouses. But to give trucks a route that doesn't involve Route 40 or the intersection at Route 40 and 273 in particular, I guess is a good thing.
Yeah, one of the wild things that they brought up was like there was like I forget the exact numbers, but it was like Belvedere Road sees like a few thousand cars or something, and that's supposed to go up to like 18,000 cars once this is open, like once this whole Belvedere Road interchange is open. I think it was like they typically see like 4,000 cars a day, and like with the I-95 interchange opening, they're going to see like 18 to 20,000 cars a day. It was a huge number that I put in my article. I totally forget about it because there was a lot of really interesting stuff. This Belvedere Road, it's just, as I said, reiterated. So it's like the facts are, for a minute, and then they're, done for.
Right. The the new interchange, while its main purpose is to handle truck traffic, you don't know what else it will bring or encourage. I mean, it's always nice to, if you're commuting, and as many people do in Cecil County, to be nice to be near an exit, make it easy to get on 95 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? Who knows? Okay. One public works thing that I found a little interesting as someone who has tried to track the ARPA money, the use of ARPA funds for the shooting range is I don't know, you know, that without digging into the 400-page federal documentation for ARPA money, you can find more abbreviated versions. I guess it fits. It's who knows. It's supposed to be to replace funds. It can be used for infrastructure, but it's supposed to replace funds that were reduced or somehow not available or whatever because of the pandemic. I think the county's budget did just fine in the pandemic, but but I don't know.
Yeah, they can use the money to either fund capital improvement projects or like just, you know, infrastructure within the county, or they can use it as what you just said, replacement funds, which is what they're using it for when it comes to broadband. Like they have with the broadband expansion thing that I reported on way back in June. They have ARPA funds listed there, right? But it's for replacement funds if they need them. You know, right. So it's really weird with the whole replacement idea and aspect of it all, because ARPA funds can be used for a plethora of things. And like you said, as this replacement fund is one, but it's a maybe, you know?
Right. Yeah, broadband's a little clearer because we all kind of lived online during the pandemic. It's whatever, life goes on.
Yeah.
So another little development this past week in the world of Cecil County politics was the announcement by Adam Streight that he is running for county executive. Now, he is 1 year ahead of the primaries, 1 year plus ahead of when the primary is, which will be in May, I believe. Adam Streight ran for delegate against Kevin Hornberger and Travis Marion in 2022. And were it not for Travis Marion, Adam Streight, you know, came within 116 votes, I believe.
Yeah, it was less than 120
of Delegate Hornberger. So he may hope to repeat that sort of success.
Yeah. So that was, I mean, quite honestly, we just got out of elections. What it feels like, right? Reporting on elections is a huge, you know, at the Whig, it being, you know, election reporter really of the government, and it's just it just eats you alive, right? You got to worry about the candidates, you have to worry about the numbers, you have to keep up with everybody, and you know, it becomes a lot. So it feels like we just got out of the election cycle, and we're getting literally right back into it because the budget came, and now it's like election stuff is starting again, and it's like, oh my goodness. So yeah, it definitely caught me off guard to hear that he announced that early. Election day is May 19th, I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure that is correct. Yep, May 9th, actually. So election day is May 9th, 2024. And he announced, you know, a year and a half early, which is you know, I wouldn't say unheard of, but I would say that it is a bit unheard of around here, right? Nobody else has announced. Danielle hasn't even talked about a candidacy. I asked her and I was like, hey, do you plan on running again? She's like, I'm working on being the county executive right now. And I was like, okay, there you go. So yeah, it was definitely interesting. He has a lot of really unique points when it comes to why he's running for county executive. He gives his political structure, his foundations, his things that he wants to improve in the county and more. And in the article I did about his announcement, I really tried to grab all of that and put it into one thing. So it was a good article, and it was really interesting to hear his point of view. And I'm actually really interested to see who else is going to run for county executive, because there's a lot of whispers in the grapevine of who's going to be running that I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, I saw. I wouldn't expect other people to declare their candidacy until, I don't know, at least toward the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was kind of I was more or less like, wow, that's interesting. The election year, the election cycle is just stretching farther and farther, and it's kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What are you working on for this week?
So we have the budget hearing tomorrow. Not too sure what's going to come out of that, but it's on the radar. And then there's a few bills that are going into introduction and a few resolutions that are being introduced. I read over them. Nothing strikes me as super newsworthy, so that's just kind of what is on the radar. But story-wise, maintenance of effort, I'm doing a very in-depth explainer explaining how maintenance of effort works, how it affects the county through in and throughout, and how maintenance of effort is calculated, how maintenance of effort works, how schools can request and not request, and how the county can give them money for things that don't affect cost per pupil. If you have any questions about maintenance of effort, this article will answer every single one of them. So that's one of my big stories that I have coming up. The Cecil College is implementing a marine diesel program that's going to be active by the end of the summer, which is really cool. It's very unique. I don't think there's any other college in the area that has a marine diesel program. So I'm interviewing them, talking with them shortly to see what's going on with that. And those are the two big stories that I know are happening this week. Everything else is just the life of a journalist. We'll see what the week yields, right? So.
Yeah, the marine diesel thing, is that sponsored by someone in particular? As sometimes happens.
I'm not sure. There's another company that's involved. I think it might be a partnership. That's why I want to talk to them and sit down with them, because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Granted, I'm a new education beat reporter, but a seasoned government reporter, right? So I don't know too much about it. That's why I want to talk to them. But it's a really cool program, and it's really cool for Cecil County, because Cecil County is right on the water,
Yeah.
Well, near water, not right on the water.
Service, but it's pleasure boats mostly. Mm-hmm. Anyway, who knows? Okay, well, I have no more. I was going to say, getting back to Adam Streight, I believe, I don't want to say their name because I'm not sure, but I believe through his campaign manager, I requested him to come on the show. I have not received a reply. So that would be, I think that would be very interesting.
Yeah. One more thing for what's in the pipeline also for the Whig. I'm getting a sit-down interview with County Executive Danielle Hornberger to kind of just go over her term so far as county executive, and just go over a lot of highlights and just really kind of sit down with her and talk to her about the state of Cecil County, where it was when she picked it up, where it is now, and just kind of really get her feel for everything. There's going to be a lot more to it, but that would give away a lot of the good parts of the article. But yeah, it's going to be a really good one, and I'm really excited to do it. I haven't sat down with her before, and I've been at the Whig for almost 11 months now.
Well, all I can say is congratulations on that. You've succeeded where others have failed. Okay, well, that's all I have. And
yeah, absolutely.
I guess we move into another week, and we'll talk about it next week. Thanks, Matt.
Absolutely. I look forward to it. For sure.